Hi, I do a lot of family mediation, and I love doing family mediation and family therapy because I feel like in families we don't often talk enough about change, about the idea that if one person in a family system changes, then the whole family actually changes in response to that change. And so I want you to think about it as a visual, as a mobile, like a mobile that's like on a ceiling. And and one of those pieces moves around and everybody sort of all the other pieces get juggled around, but eventually there has to be a balance in the mobile, and so the mobile can stop, right? They can rest. So I think about that in families is that if you're a parent or if you're in a family and that at a certain point when kids individuate, they have their own minds and way of doing things, and they're going to have their own life, and they're going to remember some of the events and traumas and ways of being in the original family that they're going to mimic. And sometimes we never can go back and or there's never time to go back and talk about all these things and what really made sense and impact. But I usually find when there was some kind of trauma in the family, or if there's some kind of situation that families members experience and they can't seem to get over it so that they can be connected again, there's always that fear that there's not going to be the capacity to stay connected. There'll be an estrangement. That's so sad when that happens in some ways, I think. And in other ways, I think, well, the members just can't stay. Maybe the trauma was too severe and they just can't stay connected. It just brings up so many things. And some families are brave. People want to change and they want to stay connected to their families, and so they want to do the work. And I'm not saying that the other family members aren't brave. I'm just saying that the trauma was so severe that it feels impossible. And that's not brave or not brave. That's just life and things that happen in life that sometimes we can't understand and we can't metabolize for very many reasons. But my focus is really on the people that want to right now in this video anyways, about about when people want to change in a family, and how do they change, and how does everybody around them respond to that change? And what if the whole family changes? Every single member, because of a change, starts changing. Maybe it's the birth of a child, maybe it's they want to have a holiday together, and everyone has to shift in order to be able to rejoin again. So one of the tools that I teach people in mediation slash family systems therapy is the full apology. And sometimes we do things, or we experience things in our families that feel so hurtful that we can't imagine how to get over them. The full apology is just that, firstly, each member would hear what that person is saying and how they experience something, their perspective. And in order to do it correctly, you cannot defend and you can't personalize and try to tell your side of the story when a person is telling their side of the story. You just have to actively listen. And the power of listening and the power of being heard is so healing. It's just remarkably healing if it's purely just that. Like you give somebody space to speak their mind and you say back to them, this is how I heard you experience that. And this is how you felt. And then there's an intention part, which is of the full apology. It was just, I didn't mean to hurt you. Or I never wanted you to feel that way. And then there's a change of behavior that you might say. Sometimes it's a change of behavior like, um, I'm just going to really listen to you more, or I'm just going to always try to empathize and put myself in your shoes, or I'm not going to, whatever it was that you could do that would be different, a change of behavior. That's so important because that talks about evolving in the future. So again, the whole idea about active listening is so important and so healing in a family system, to be able to be seen in your experience, and to be accepted in your experience. No, it's so tricky because when somebody else is trying to say their part of the story, it might completely conflict with that person's story. But I'm saying, we have to accept, and there's no right or wrong, good or bad judgments or opinions in the act of listening. There's just active listening and accepting how that person experienced something. So I really believe that people can work through conflicts. I really believe people can change and grow and evolve in families and still come together. And I know that it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of guts to feel like you love yourself and you want to stay connected to your family enough that you'll do that. So stay connected and subscribe below so that I can keep letting you know about some of the wonderful concepts to consider as you're evolving.